The Saints go marching in as they become Scotland's second most successful club since 2010 with a scrappy 1-0 win in the League Cup final. Elsewhere, Celtic snowflakes begin life without Lennon. Rangers cruise to round of 16. Scottish Cup is back on and Hibs are back to being Hibs. It's episode 11 of the False 90s podcast. With me today we've got Andy, Marcus and Kyle. How are we doing tonight, guys?
Alright.
Doing alright, yeah.
I'm okay.
Oh,
Doesn't sound convincing, Marcus.
yeah, after this weekend, I don't blame him.
Weekend heartbreak.
We'll start this week. At Hampden, where St Johnstone with a 1-0 win in the League Cup final over Livingston, making their second trophy ever, and second trophy since 2010.
2015 was it?
Oh yeah, 2015 they won their first one, and then
Scottish Cup in 2015. Yeah. Was it 2014? I can't remember.
2014-15 season, I think.
Whenever it was.
Yeah. Good for them. I bet all three of them are having a big party up in Perth.
I mean,
I would have loved to see Livingston and David Martindale lift it, but however, St Johnstone seemed like they earned it. They were pretty phenomenal throughout the match.
They were the better team by far.
Cut Livy to absolute no chances.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right. Livy didn't have any chances really. I could speak about. And St Johnstone just looked solid in defence the whole match. It wasn't the most exciting, if I'm being honest. Like St Johnstone kind of just scored, and then for the rest of the game, it was just kind of
saw it out,
petering out. Yeah. But St Johnstone were the better team. They earned it over the course of the whole tournament. Earned it, especially with that semi-final performance. They definitely put us in our place.
I was going to say, does that make the semi-final kind of a little bit? This lost a little bit better because we lost to the eventual champions.
Well, not really.
No, because you'd like to think it would have been you up there beating Livingston to win the trophy.
Yeah, if Livingston performed like that, and well, I can sit here and say if Livingston performed like that, we beat them. But then we know what this Hibs team are like. All Livingston would have had to do is score 1-0 up, and then we wouldn't have had anything. That's how it was going with Jack Ross. But now we can get on to that for the Hibs game later.
Yeah, it's a good win, and it's a cup win for them. Yeah, I think.
Only shame is that the fans, like I said, can't really celebrate it properly. I think I heard there were fans outside the ground up in Perth, which is difficult because as much as there's a situation going on, I sympathise that. Their club. I mean, their club doesn't win many trophies, and
this is second ever major trophy.
Yeah. So, if you're a St Johnstone fan, how are you meant to go about celebrating that? Obviously, the pandemic is a big deal, but your football club is a big deal to you personally. For fans of any club,
yeah, you sort of want to be able to celebrate these rare victories. Yeah.
Yeah, I knew if we won it, there'd be people partying down the block. You know what I mean? It's the same for any fan base, but especially for them, trophies. They could not win another trophy in 40 years, or a club like St Johnstone. Moments.
Yeah, right now they're in the most successful period of their history. They're in a hot streak.
Absolutely.
In theory,
but no, they'll have to savor it though. I think players like Jason Kerr, Sean Rooney will get snapped up by hopefully us, but most likely other your Aberdeens, your Celtic.
Although, don't let a bit of short-term success influence the player sale. There's obviously the worst player purchases are always right after a World Cup.
Yeah.
Drop big money on somebody who just had a bit of a purple patch, but nothing else.
Although to be fair, if Callum Davidson's there for the long run, he's taken that club places definitely. He's got them set up really well. So who knows? I might be talking rubbish about them winning a trophy in 40 years. They might win another.
Well, exactly. The last time they won the trophy was 7 years ago. So they probably thought it back then. They're not going to win another trophy for 40 years. They won one 7 years.
Yeah. Hibs won the cup in 1902 and then
2016. So then.
Yeah. It depends. No.
Yeah, it's a good win for them, and from that we'll move from the current League Cup champions to the ones who won it beforehand. Celtic with a 1-0 win over Aberdeen at the weekend. Andy, do you want to cover this one?
I mean, back to winning ways under an interim manager who, I mean, there wasn't much of the game. We had the majority of the chances. The players weren't particularly clinical, but it's just nice to see it not be a loss on the record, honestly. But yeah, John Kennedy. I mean, obviously the players know him as that he's been there for about half his life, so obviously it's I figured that they're not gonna perform particularly poorly under him, but he's just not really the man with a vision. He is just there to steady the ship. He's an interim manager, as most are.
He did come out and say that he's not treating this job as he's not treating it at the moment as like a trial for.
No, exactly. He knows there's a big shift in the club coming. With the new CEO coming in Dominic Mackay, and I think obviously Dominic Mackay already has the thought of who he wants to line up as the manager, and I think John Kennedy knows he's just here to try to lose as few games as possible till he gets replaced. But however, I would like to see a new man come in before the end of the season, because if he comes in the middle of the transfer window, he's missing time to learn the squad, see who needs sold, who needs bought. That's why I think if we make the movements now, then it could be beneficial.
Who do you want to see in, Andy?
I mean, my number one target for the last since Lennon was, and before Lennon was appointed, was Andrew Villas-Boas. He was available back then, and he's available again now by a stroke of fate. And just because of his European pedigree, we've underperformed in Europe massively over the last few campaigns. So I think he'll be the man to kick us on in the Europa/Champions League, wherever we are in the next few years. He'll be the man to kick us on. And if not him, we still need to spend big on a manager. So there's plenty of available managers like Rafa Benitez and stuff. I just want someone with a bit of flair.
You want to see Lampard come in?
No. So someone with a bit of flair, not Frank, not Fat Frank.
Fair enough.
I did see today Rafa Benitez was meant to be going to Napoli, although I don't know how true that is.
Back to Napoli.
Yeah, well, I don't know how true it is. I just seen it pop up today, but
I mean, he left China because he was homesick. So
yeah.
Yeah, so I think going to Scotland is not going to make him any less homesick. So
yeah.
Oh, sorry.
Because I know his wife and kids still live back in Valencia, and have for years. It's a lonely life of a football journeyman manager.
The Chinese Super League is really going downhill.
Jiangsu Suning being dissolved because it wasn't profitable to run.
Even though they won the league.
Yeah, but they have to funnel so much money in just to get people watching it, but the quality is not there.
I think the CCP have realised, not that, well, I don't know if we'll get banned in China for they've been pumping a lot of money into.
We don't have any Chinese listeners anyway, so don't worry.
Yeah, they don't have Spotify in China.
We have I was thinking that we've got our one Brazilian listener though apparently. So if you're out there, then cheers for listening. Obrigado, all that. Yeah, I think they're realizing that it's not as profitable as they thought it was, so obviously they're scaling back on their funding for Chinese clubs and to pay those ridiculous wages for players. So, yeah, that's what's happening. I
think we should bring it back to Scotland. Yeah, I think with because we had a discussion on the pod last week saying that Celtic would be better off not getting someone in until next season, but
I don't agree. I think.
I mean, see what Rangers did, right? Rangers, they announced Jared as the manager, but he didn't take charge till the next season.
No, I know. But he was there and he was overseeing and he was making decisions before he actually came into the club,
that's really intelligent. That's the best way to go about it.
Yeah, I mean,
go in the new season already having an idea of transfer targets.
Another thought: someone who's really looking for a job desperately would be Marco Silva. He's really sort of he's trying to throw his name out there and get a job. Actually. Or another one is I doubt we'd get him, but someone I'd really like is Silvinho, who is obviously he was pretty much running Lyon as president and as head coach for a while for himself. I think he was not president. He was head coach and manager typically they've had like 2 under the current structure. But yeah, he did quite a good move, built them quite a big squad. Obviously, he fell out with the board, left. He's been out of work for 3 years now, so there's a couple names. I just like. I don't think we need a Steve Clark or a David Moyes or all the pundits just want us to get a Celtic man in, but we did that last time and it didn't work out too well. So
no, I mean, Jackie McNamara has come out and said that Neil Lennon would sort out Celtic and the snowflakes there wouldn't be able to handle him.
Right.
Which is the most boomer headline I have seen all year.
He'll sort these young'uns out, with their fancy haircuts and their iPods and.
It's just. I think the pundits in Scotland sometimes it just come out with nonsense. Talking of nonsense, we'll go straight to Easter Road.
Aye, that's a good way to describe that performance from us. Nonsense. Yeah, I think last pod I was saying that I wasn't particularly impressed by us against Hamilton, and in my opinion, we've come out and played the exact same way, except this time we've come up against a decent team, a team that played really well, very organised, and we had the benefit of of the other team not having a man sent off, pretty much, and that's it really. We never broke them down. Our best chance in the first half was a crazy half volley from Cadden, who has been scuffing at chances the past few games anyway. Our only outball was Louis Stevenson on the right, on the left. He made a few crosses in the box, but nobody was there. I think there was one Martin Burrell got to, but he's not really he's not really the player you want on the end of the crosses. It's just a disaster from start to finish. I think I was saying to Sam before the pod started that Newell and Irving is obviously not working as a midfield too. Irvin's more. I mean, there's some Hibs fans saying that online saying, "Oh, I don't rate Irvin. He's probably, I'd say, too good for us. He seems like he's a step above the Scottish League. In all honesty, he's outstanding. But the problem was that he's just better with Gogic next to him because he has a license to go forward. Whereas Motherwell are playing in midfield 3, and we've got Newell and Irving who are 2 creative midfielders, but not getting the chance to do that because they're having to defend and deal with their 3-man midfield. Which means that, like I said, our only outball is then the flanks. And Cadden was getting, I don't know what's happening with Cadden, but he was just out of the game. And Louis Stevenson was putting all the balls he could, but it just completely neutralised our attacking game. And then the thing that did really annoy me was in the post-match interview, Jack Ross said 2 things that annoyed me. He mentioned that he had changes in his mind at half-time that he wanted to make, but he didn't actually make them until we went 2-0 down. And not only that, he did the same thing against St Johnstone when we conceded a goal right after half-time. He brought the changes on then. So
the game's a lot different when you're 1-0 down rather than when you're 2-0 down, and you got half-time to kind of sort that out. You sort it out rather than waiting for it to get worse then sorting it out.
We've got 45 minutes. What's he expecting? We've got 45 minutes left to change the game. The media have dubbed him as a manager who reacts to things, but that's the problem. Is that he's reactive, but he's not proactive. Everybody could see from the first half performance, we had nothing going forward. So what's he expecting? Is he expecting that anything's going to change just because 5 minutes in the new half? What is going to happen? There's literally no point in not making the changes after a half of football. There's the argument making too many changes too quickly can stop your flow and your players don't know, but at half time that's the best time to make changes. You give them the team talk, you tell them the system that we're changing to, you go out and they change it, but then no, we have to change it at 2-0, and then once we change it it's already too late because Motherwell shut up shop. And then the second thing he said that really annoyed me was he was praising the team, saying, "Oh well, we came back into it because we had a lot of possessions." You're a professional manager and you're coming out with stuff like that. Of course they're going to give us more possession because they're defending a 2-0 lead at a ground they've not won at since 2013. What do you expect them to do? That's not a plus. That is a given in a game like that. So it shows just a lack of, I don't know, a bit of mental sharpness. I don't know. Maybe I'm being a bit harsh on him because he's a decent manager, but come on, that's not the first time this season even out with that game in the semi-final against St Johnstone, that we've just collapsed after going a goal down. Like, we're expected to win every game at home. To be frank, we're expected to win every game at home, bar the Old Firm when we're playing the Old Firm. Like, our fans expect us to beat Aberdeen at home. Our fans expect us to beat Hearts and the rest at home. And teams like Motherwell, we should be beating them. But that's not taken away from Motherwell. Obviously, if Lewis was here, I'd let him talk about his own team. But I thought they were fantastic. Really, like I said, just nullified us going forward.
Motherwell didn't look like a team who were fighting relegation. They looked like a proper.
Well, no, they did though. Because they had the fight in them. Like that, they had the fight. You could tell that they were fighting for something. And we should be a team also fighting for something. We're fighting for third place, but we've gone and when Aberdeen drop points, we go and drop points as well. You know, it's
we're not taking the advantage.
Yeah, not taking advantage of that. We've still got our game in hand against Ross County, but like I said, it depends how we play. Like, as soon as we go a goal down, we don't look like getting back into it, and that's been a problem this whole season, not just that game in the semi-final. It's all like Jack Ross's tactics are all fine and dandy when we go a goal up, because then the other team opens up and it gives us more space in behind. But we've got a lack of like fluidity, like passes not even, or like three passes not even getting strung together. Like, we're just so poor stringing our attacks together, and I think it comes down to not having Scott Allen in there, because I think he does that role, stringing the attack together, but or the sort of the midfield with the attack or the forwards. But it is really worrying though, because our next game is St Johnstone, and we'll come on to it, but they've really caused us problems in the past. They've seriously, not just the last time we played them, but at Easter Road we played them. Start of this season we played them at McDiarmid Park, and they should have drawn, if not won, that game, because their goal should have stood in that match. And in general, we've never had a really good record against them, so I do kind of fear for that. I see they didn't put in the best performances tonight, but still, I mean, it doesn't matter. Any team can turn up against Hibs, even if they're on a bad run. So yeah, and then obviously if we lose that and Aberdeen win, then you're starting to worry about third, when we thought we had it wrapped up when we beat Aberdeen. So it's
throwing everything into it.
It's a funny season. It's a funny season because one week we're qualifying for the Europa League or whatever, and then the next week we're rubbish. You know, it's such an odd season. So I really don't know who to blame for it. I don't know if it's Jack Ross or.
Do you think the entire situation at home as a whole with no fans is that kind of contributed to poor home form? Obviously, this loss here.
That is a really good point, because if a Hibs team goes in at half-time 1-0 down against Motherwell at home, then you've got boos. Like, the Easter Road crowd is going to be booing you, because the expectation is way more than that if you're playing at Easter Road. So I don't know if that would have made a difference, but that element of it, I mean, the thing is about Jack Ross as a manager, he doesn't seem like the type that criticises his players a lot. He seems really calm and collected, and
when you're 1-0 down like that, you kind of need someone to have a go at them, pretty much.
Yeah. So who's criticising them? Who's telling them? Who's, I mean, if the fans aren't there, then who's giving that to them? The same goes for other games this season. The games at home against Ross County and Livingston. If the fans are there, we're giving the team pelters for that.
And even the semi-final as well. If Hibs went in at half time the way they were playing in that League Cup semi-final.
Not just that, but St Johnstone, a team like St Johnstone, I don't think would have sold half of their. Would have sold their. Obviously it should be 50-50 split. I think they would have brought. Like, the teams like that, they usually get like a quarter of Hampden, like they get a wee corner. I think Hibs, like the point I'm making, we would have had a substantially bigger crowd. So in that situation, like, it's made
ourselves heard, kind of thing.
Exactly. That's another one where the fans can have a big impact in that kind of game, especially. And when we're dealing with, and the problem isn't that we're losing games. Like Motherwell deserved the win off the basis of they fought harder, but. The problem is that Hibs should always be fighting to win, be fighting to. I mean, it seems really straightforward from saying that because every team in theory should be doing the same. But like when your team is putting in performances that are as heartless as that, as bereft of ideas as that, as just like passive, you know what I mean? It's really frustrating. It's like I said, it's not just the fact we're getting beaten. It's the fact we're getting beaten and we're not putting up a fight to do anything about it. That's really annoying. And especially like league games like the one Saturday are fair enough, but the semi-final, that's the biggest example yet. Like I don't understand how we can be favourites for a cup competition, have a semi-final against St Johnstone and put in as heartless a performance as that. So I think that's something we really need to improve on. We need to see something a bit different next season, because if that continues, then even if our position in the league is going well, I guess fans are going to get sick of that at some point, because we don't expect that from Hibs. We want us to, you know, not just let our opponent do whatever they want as soon as they go up, and not do anything to combat it, you know.
Yeah, well, Hibs' home form, 16 games played, won 6, drawn 5 and lost 5. Whereas the away form's, you know, much better. There's won 9, drawn 2, lost 3.
I've always seemed to notice that about Hibs though, is their away form's better than their home.
Are you sure about that, mate? I don't
Yeah.
think so.
From what I've seen recently, yeah.
Well, this season,
At least for Celtic, Easter Road's been a bit of a fortress. We've always seemed to barely even get a draw there.
Well, like Celtic, I don't think they've won in the league at Easter Road in years.
No, exactly. That's what I'm saying. I think
Yeah.
I've always seemed to think Easter Road was a bit of a fortress, at least for us.
As a Hibs fan, I disagree with what Cal's saying. We've been good away this season, but honestly,
But the fans don't. I think that's just coincidence. I don't think fans.
Yeah, that's to do with the fans. But last season, I think. So the thing is last season I missed the game. I usually go to all the away games, but the specific ones I missed were games that we'd won. So I missed the 4-1 game away at St Johnstone where we won, and then I missed the 2-1 against Killie away. But I got the Tynecastle win, and that was the only game I saw us win away from home that season. So off the top of my head, I think we would have won 3 away games that season. I can't mind if I missed more than those 2.
I mean, always like the previous seasons, you've always given the old firm teams a run for their money.
Yeah,
at like Ibrox or Celtic Park.
Absolutely, it's what we expect.
Except from last season.
Yeah.
Except, yeah. I don't expect us to beat the old firm every time we play them, but I expect us always to have a go, especially Ibrox and Celtic Park, you know. And I think not a lot of Hibs fans will agree with me on this, but I would expect us to beat the old firm every once in a while, if you know what I mean. Like,
yeah, I mean that's, you know, fair. If we want to be challenging for Europe and challenging for those top spaces, and even challenging the old firm to, you know,
trophies
for trophies, we need to actually beat them.
Yeah, if we want to win like Scottish Cups and League Cups, like the thing is, like we obviously didn't have to play the old firm this League Cup, but that's not what's going to happen. You're going to have draws against Celtic and Rangers. So, but no, I don't expect to beat them all the time. But you know, you're odd. It was good when we came up because we beat Celtic at home, managed to draw at Celtic Park, won at Ibrox twice. You know, that was perfect. That was perfect form against the old firm. So, and I think our last win against the old firm was Neil Lennon. I think it was the 2-0 we beat Celtic.
Slivka scored one in like 2 minutes or something.
The point where I'd say that it's been too long. It's been too long since we've not beaten the old firm at this point, I'd say. I think we're due a win against the old firm, really, but yeah.
Maybe in the split, mate. Maybe in the split.
Oh, so
I think we can beat Celtic. We've got them at Easter Road next, so I think we can beat them.
That'll be a good game to watch, definitely.
Should have beaten them in the season.
So talking of teams who need a win, we move to Kilmarnock, who picked up their first points since the 9th of January with a 1-1 draw.
Has it really been that bad?
Yeah,
they're going down.
It's been all losses since then. Picked up their first points with a 1-1 draw against Dundee United.
Sorry to say, but I think Kelly's going down.
Yeah, I think that's.
You think they'll evade Hamilton? or do you think they'll go down to the playoffs?
Oh no, kidding.
Hamilton will be.
Hamilton will survive because they always survive.
Yeah, Hamilton's
Do we take that as a given now?
Yeah, I'll take it as a given.
that's just doing a Hamilton.
Yeah.
They'll do another.
They're
they'll do another
gonna.
Hamilton.
They should be sued for just inducing heart attacks in their fans.
What fans?
The
Oh, come on, they've got lots of fans in that
people that live in Hamilton.
magical pitch.
Yeah, one more Joel Kelly. They made a few chances. They actually dominated this game from what I could see from the highlights. But obviously they couldn't score. Carl Lafferty actually looked quite good for them in this game. But he wasn't on the score sheet. He did get the assist for the equaliser from Zach Medley. But yeah,
it's a good point about Kelly. I don't know if they have a set goal scorer because they sold. Well, not that he was scoring goals anyway, but they got rid of Brophy, and I don't know if Kabamba, because he started off the season really well, but I don't know if he's still scoring regularly for them. So.
I'm not sure about that.
No, I don't think so.
I think their squad has been gradually stripped over the last couple of seasons since Steve Clark left. Maybe it's almost was maybe he keeping those players there,
Yeah.
Keeping everything knit together, more than just a coach, maybe a bit of a manager too.
Yeah, no, it's
It was a hard one to predict, this one anyway. I think we all went for a Dundee United win, but it was like a scraped one. So it's a difficult, hard one to pick, but I'm glad Kelly got a point, to be honest. It looked like a really poor Dundee United side, though.
Yeah, I thought Dundee United would finally get some goals coming.
It's a bit too late for them.
I think they're in a weird spot, Dundee United, actually.
They still could get
They're
top six,
comfortable. They're comfortable, and they can still, but they just, on paper, they look rubbish, but technically they're doing okay. But I think that's what people expected. They're performing about how people expected, but I think people did expect a bit more goals from them because obviously Shanklin's promotion push for him was quite good.
And they brought in McNulty as well, who impressed at Hibs.
Yeah, Nicky Clark, decent striker as well.
Yeah, no, they're just a bit meh at the moment, aren't they? Do you think they're going to, push on for next season, or would it be a case of they might be in trouble? The old second season thing.
Depends how, because I think, am I wrong in thinking that they're not doing so good financially? So they're struggling to.
Yeah, I was gonna say like they need to get a couple players in, maybe on like a loan or a transfer, like a free transfer, just to give something a spark, because there's no spark in that team.
They'll be forced to sell Shanklin most likely.
Yeah.
If they won't even think about signing players permanently.
Yeah, 100%.
And I hope it's to us because I think he was. I think Nisbet's going. I don't think he is going in the summer. Like that's probably a given at this point. But we'll need a replacement for him.
Yeah.
So I mean, Shanklin does seem like an easy option, and in a better team with more service. Hopefully, a fit Scott Allen back in the plane.
Well, Kelly picked up 1 point, but it was 3 points that St Mirren picked up in a controversial 1-0 win. Jeremy Maguire's penalty gave them the win, but it was a bit of a dodgy one, I think. Anyone see this one?
I've not seen it.
I didn't see it. No, I didn't see it.
Excellent coverage.
Yeah, great coverage, guys. Well
Great,
done.
guys. Nice one, guys. There we go. But yeah,
I'll watch another game, right? We should allocate games to each other so we can
yeah,
or at least keep up with the notes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, I'll do that next week then.
Do you think with St Mirren are now 4 points clear of Dundee United? Do you reckon they've consolidated their top six spot?
Yeah, I think the current. My prediction leads is the current top six will stay. I mean, the split is what, 2 games away? Three games to the split.
2 or 3 games, I think.
But it's 3 for some clubs, 2 for some clubs. Yeah, it's.
Yeah,
Some
for
clubs.
St Mirren and Dundee United, it's 2.
I know we got 3 until the split.
Well, bear in mind St Mirren's fixtures. If St Mirren play us,
No, play
and
Hamilton.
if St Mirren lose that game and Dundee United win their next game, it's cuts it to a point.
Mhm.
So I don't think they've not secured it by 100%.
Well, the thing is, Dundee United have Celtic and Aberdeen, whereas St Mirren have Rangers and...
Oh, that's true. Yeah, I forgot Dundee United were playing Celtic. Forgot about that. Yeah, that's true.
So
I think even those games, I still think it's all to play for.
yeah,
for
St Mirren
us.
have Rangers away and then Hamilton away.
Yeah.
So yeah, it
So
is
it's still-
still to play for, but Dundee United have a slightly tougher run in.
Yeah, 100%.
And
They're just hoping that St Mirren drops points.
Yeah, I don't see Dundee United getting an upset on us as well. But you never know. I could be more than proved wrong.
You said that about Ross County as well.
I say it every week, and every week I'm disappointed.
But from there, I think it's time to go to Ibrox for what happened in Europe and then what's happened today. In
Yeah,
today's
I'll
game.
try and go quick on the Europe game because there's a lot of goals to go through. Obviously it was 5-2, which was another weird game in Europe.
9-5 on aggregate. It's
Rangers.
just the craziest thing.
I know someone that put a bet on that. I've won.
What,
won
bet on
loads.
5-2 specifically?
Yeah.
Jesus
Oh
Christ.
man, I know. Anyway, so I'll just run through the goals. So obviously the first goal was a long ball through to Hadji. Defender tries to play it off Hadji, goes back in towards the goalkeeper, and then Kent closes the man down when he passes it. Kent runs in, goalkeeper comes out, Morelos, bang, 1-0. Boom. It was on the 8th minute, so it was a really good start from Rangers. I was out of my seat at that point. And yeah, went on to be like another game where it was just one of them games, and then Lukaku on the left did pretty well up against Balogun at that time. Cut him inside a few times, played it across, and Antwerp equalised. It was a well worked goal from Antwerp, to be fair to them. And went into the half at 1 each. And yeah, it was really quite what's the word to put it? Impressed with Lukaku, John Lukaku. I don't know if you guys watched the game and saw how he played, but I thought him and Rafaelov were two really good players for Antwerp, and kind of caused upsets with our defence a wee bit.
Yeah,
Desmond.
I think again, I just saw the highlights for this one, but Lukaku, he was impressive, and he's just one of those players who pops up every now and then, and he puts in a really good performance. And it's a shame that he wasn't on.
He was a bit quiet in the first leg, but definitely second leg he came out more. 100%.
Obviously, he's overshadowed by his bigger brother, but I think he definitely played well.
Yeah, so second half started and Rangers made a very good tactical substitution with Balogun coming off because he wasn't give up to Lukaku, and obviously he's not a natural right back, so the natural right back was obviously Nathan Patterson, and we all know what happened with 20 seconds into the second half.
Mr. COVID breach gets his goal, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. He does get his goal. Does get his goal. You were trying to say he wasn't punished or something like that, Andy?
No, I was just that's what he's known for at the moment.
Oh, in Celtic forms, yeah. Okay, cool. Nice to know. Anyway, yes, he does get his goal. I think that settled all the doubters about Nathan Patterson and how much of a young talent he is, and his apology was meaning, and I think a lot of Rangers fans have forgiven him now. But yeah, no, it was a good goal. Great pass from Morelos. Morelos again, absolutely outstanding for the whole game. The great finish by Patterson. I'll move on quickly. On to the third goal, which was Mr. Ryan Kent. I'm just walking through the highlights as well. I can't really remember this. Obviously, it was a great touch by Hadji into Morelos. Morelos does his man, plays it right across the guy. Kent comes in from the left and plays in. Morelos plays it in the Kent. Great work goal. Comes off the keeper a wee bit. Great goal again. Skim through it. But yeah, that was a really good work team goal. Came right from the back as well. And Antwerp did get another goal back. A bit of confusion at the back between McGregor and Goldson. Clashed a wee bit. It was just them things that happens. It's just a shame to lose that goal, but we thought it was all settled by that point. But yeah, again, you got to credit Antwerp for that goal. Anyway, so there's a few dodgy tackles that happened during that game, but is what it is. Obviously, Morelos for the next goal. Morelos is brilliant striker play, holds the other man, gets contact from the guy, goes down, penalty. Don't know if you think that was a penalty or not, Andy, but it was a penalty.
I didn't see the incident, to be fair, but in Europe,
Surprised, to be honest.
the refereeing standard is pretty high. So,
And there was VAR involved.
I'd trust that the officials got it right.
Okay,
Did
nice
you
to know.
reckon
Nice to know.
that obviously the player that brought him down was the Marchand, who was booked earlier on? He'd made a couple of fouls after that as well. Was there any shout that he could have seen second yellow there, or was it just a penalty?
To be fair, I didn't know he was on a booking, to be honest. But yeah, I'll watch it back to see if Morelos is in a goal scoring opportunity, and then I'll determine it. So, plays it to Davis. Give me a second. No, I wouldn't say so, because the player was there was two players near Morelos, and nah, it's not yellow card for me, but definitely a penalty. But then, yeah, Barisic puts us away very well. And then the last goal was obviously a great play from Scotty Wright. Cuts inside two players, down he goes. Another penalty to Rangers. I love that phrase now.
I've heard it
But
enough,
yeah,
to be honest.
obviously Eaton took it, which was good, because he just came on as well. Bonner said he'd give the penalty to Eaton, so it's good to see him get a wee goal as well. So yeah, that's another night in Europe for flying the flag of Scotland at the moment in Europe. So yeah.
Obviously, we'll cover this more next week, but they drew Slavia Prague, who knocked out Leicester in the last round.
Yeah.
How are you feeling about this one?
It's winnable. It's winnable. It could have been worse. Could have been better. But no, I would like to see. I would definitely want to see it. It was to be a good game to go to. I was hoping for an English team, but I watched it with one of my mates from work, and he's a Man United fan. So no, it's definitely a good draw, because they're both undefeated in the domestic leagues. It's going to be an interesting game for sure. That is. But it's a winnable tie. But just to see the mentality of the players in that game, if they want it that bad.
It's one of those where it could have been worse, but it also could have been better as well.
Yeah. It's just it's a tie in Europe. We'll go and do our best. And there's a lot of things I saw on Twitter saying like, will Slavia Prague upset Rangers like they did Leicester? And I wouldn't say there's any upsetting at all, because they're two really good teams, both really good right now in their leagues. It's an evenly matched tie, and I think it's winnable. Obviously, I'm going to say it's winnable. But yeah, obviously, I'm looking forward to it. Definitely looking forward to it.
Really an interesting one to watch. Yeah, move on to there was a game tonight as well, playing against Livingston.
Oh mate, you're killing me here. We're talking.
Should Rangers stop playing too many games then?
I'll just briefly skim through it. So obviously, just finished a couple of minutes ago was Rangers Livingston at the Mac and Cheese Shack. Rangers won, Livingston 0 with Morelos coming to the 87th minute. It was good play from Rangers to get that goal, but I don't think the pitch helped, and obviously the pitch is quite dodgy there. I'm not blaming the pitch at all for the performance that we put in. I didn't think we played the best. There was more time. There was more balls in the air than on the ground trying to play football. But got to give credit to Livingston at some points as well, because I thought they played well. stopped us playing football, which is what you need to do. But yeah, I don't think the refs had a good game either. John Beaton obviously sent off Steven Gerrard at half time. But I don't get why he showed the second yellow to Gerrard. Obviously, the first yellow for swearing at him about the
I think
penalty
refs
incident.
do deserve a huge amount of respect, though, which they in Scotland are often not given. So I think their
Wait,
tolerance for
You respect? You
their
said you
tolerance
respect
for
refs.
abuse is nothing.
Oh, Andy, oof.
What?
Saying you should respect refs. Oh, that's unlike you.
Absolutely.
Well, I don't think that's what he's trying to say, Kyle.
That's what he
they
said,
make a-
though.
You should absolutely respect the
Yeah.
refs. Swearing at the ref is of a blatant yellow, and
Yeah.
obviously that's going to make the ref not have that high opinion of you. So you'd only be too eager to give a red.
Yeah, I'm not saying it wasn't a yellow. Yes, it was a yellow for Gerrard because he did swear at the ref. Went up to the ref at the. But like you could argue as well that some of those instances, I'm not saying the one about Gerrard, could be avoided if the refs actually spoke to them. Do you know what I mean? Like try and understand why he didn't give that penalty, for example, and then it could be resolved better. But anyway, I think it was a penalty. I think Rangers should go in for appealing the yellow card because you can appeal yellow cards for simulation. 'Cause I think it was an absolute joke, to be honest. It was a clear penalty. Don't know what you guys thought of it if you've seen it at all.
I've not seen it, but I've heard from non-Rangers fans that it was a penalty.
Mhm.
If you know what I mean.
Even
So,
Andy Walker saying it was a penalty, and that's Andy Walker barely praises Rangers. I'll tell you that.
I think it just. I mean, he doesn't like us either.
I don't think he likes anyone.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, I think the appeal will definitely go, but I don't know if they'll appeal the second yellow on Gerrard because Gerrard actually, you could see in the Sky broadcast, Gerrard walked away from the ref after he gave the yellow, and then when he was walking away, Beaton gave a second yellow when McAllister went up to him, and I thought it was a red for McAllister at first, but yeah, obviously it was Gerrard, but that's why I was a bit confused and quite annoyed actually. But
I mean, I think I said to you guys before, like John Beaton is definitely one of the worst.
oh yeah,
the worst ref. But I agree with Andy in that the abuse they get sometimes is over the top because at the end of the day, like they are.
Yeah,
It's not- it's
refs
not-
in Scotland are a lot harsher than they are in other
It's not
leagues.
their fault that they can't do their job.
In Spain, they have a massive respect for the referees, and you almost never see the managers just having a go at them and the officials' questions are never. The officials' decisions are never questioned, but after loads of games, and all clubs in Scotland do it, you get the post matches and they go, "Oh, like I have no idea what the ref was thinking there," and
Yeah.
I always find this a bit rude. All clubs do it in Scotland.
Yeah. But no, like I said, it's not their fault that they can't do their job. It's like
there's been a few instances with not just Rangers and there's been Celtic as well. Instances with John Beaton. There's been a few. I can name a few like
John Beaton, both Celtic and Rangers all go. Celtic fans will go, "Oh, he's such a wee hun," and Rangers fans go, "Oh, he's a big Tim." Like, I just think
It just shows he's a bad ref.
he's neither. He's just a
poor
ref.
referee. He's notorious in our fan base as well for making bad decisions. John Beaton, so it just shows he's a poor referee. He's not partial to any club, although he is a Rangers fan. But
He's not impartial to any colour, he's just
Clearly.
shit.
supposedly a big Beaton loyal. Nah.
It was obviously it was good to get 3 points as well, where some teams haven't at the Tony Macaroni Arena.
Yeah.
So
Winning at
I'd
Livingston.
go home. Just winning something like a game like that where we didn't play the greatest and still managed to come away with 3 points. That is what we've been missing the past few years. We would have lost that game if that was a couple of years ago.
And then that also shows, like, you know, that's the type of game you win when you win the title. You win games like that when
100%.
everything's against you, you still win, kind of thing.
Yeah. So we could have 2 penalties today, and you played terrible, and still managed to win the game. There's nothing more I can say really. It's just a sign of champions, to be honest.
There was another game tonight, but clearly neither of us have watched. Any of us have watched it. 1-1 draw between Hamilton and St Johnstone. Hamilton took the lead through Callaghan, and then and a pretty uneventful first half, and then Go Mohammed equalised late on for St Johnstone. They're pretty solidly in 8th. I think St Johnstone, they're not under any threat of going down, and they're not going to challenge the top 6. They've won a League Cup. That's a decent season for them. And
that's Hamilton and Kelly joint bottom.
Yeah, the draw for Hamilton wasn't enough to lift them off the bottom, but they've got a game in hand anyway over.
However, Kelly's position just looks incredibly precarious at the moment now.
Yeah,
you would worry for them.
The two teams that are around them, you got Hamilton who are bottom, same amount of points but a game in hand, and then you've got Ross County above them, point above them, who've also got a game in hand. So I think Kelly are the ones who are in a position.
They are in danger.
Yeah.
And Motherwell, I think, they look to be safe on 32 points. They look to be.
Yeah, no, I think the relegation is definitely between the bottom 3 at the moment. I think it's.
Yes, I reckon it will go down to the final day. I reckon, at least for the playoff spot.
It'll be good to watch all their split games. That'll be interesting.
Yeah, a lot of fight in those games. A lot of something's on the line.
Yep.
So Hampton have been in the league for a few seasons now. Ross County came up a couple of seasons ago, but Kelly have been in the league for quite some time. So it'll be a shame to see them go down.
Considering did they not get Europe last season, or was it season before?
Season before.
Season ago, Steve Clark
before.
when he left. Yeah. Obviously, famously knocked out by a Welsh amateur side. Not doing Scotland any favours for the coefficient.
No.
Just having a quick look. Last time Kelly were in the division below the Premiership was 1992-93.
Wow.
So they've been in the top division for a while. So it'll be.
Yeah.
I won't miss their plastic park.
Oh no.
But I will miss the Kelly pies on the away days. That'll be something I'll miss.
Yeah.
Because they're class. I don't know if I know.
I had one as well. When we went.
That was one of our first away games, wasn't it?
Yeah, it wasn't a away game to remember. It was that the 3-0 where the lights kept on going off.
Yeah, we were hoping that the most exciting thing about the game was the lights kept going off, but we got thrashed 3-0. So, but the pies were good as well. That was when we didn't we go 10 games without winning in that run, and then all of a sudden we beat Hamilton and we beat Celtic. We beat Celtic Easter then.
Yeah.
And then that was.
That was New Lennon as well.
That was we had our own we curated the Lennon where it wasn't good enough. we were.
That's Neil Lennon for you, isn't
post
it?
Heckenbottom. I can't remember.
That's
he was pre Heckenbottom.
Pre Heckenbottom, yeah.
Yeah.
Hickey was his replacement.
Second half of that season were unbelievable. That second part of the season, won at Tynecastle, and fell downhill the next again season.
Yeah.
So all I'm saying is, we had the whole Lenny spat before it was cool. like looking at the situation with Celtic, I can honestly just look at it and say I've seen it all before. Like it's a carbon copy.
I think it's that means it's time for a quiz.
Yeah.
Is it? Okay. Well, welcome to the quiz, guys. Welcome. So I've got 5 questions for you, and I've also got who am I as well, just to spice things up. Spice it up, right. So let's just get started right away. So in the Europa League, Rangers now have the highest scoring match ever over 2 legs. Can you name the previous highest scoring match in the Europa League?
Is that highest scoring from total goals from both teams?
Total goals in both legs. You get a point for the goals, and you also get a point if you can name the teams, and you also get another point if you can guess the score.
So it was 9-5, right? Because they won 4-3 the first leg, 5-2 the second leg. So was the previous largest? I assume it would have been 8-5.
No.
7-6.
So this is in
the amount of goals you get a point. the teams that were in that game and the result.
So
By the way, is this Scottish clubs or any club in the Europa League?
Any club in Europa League.
Okay.
So this is in the knockout stage, isn't it, or is it like in the qualifying ones as well?
Group stage, I think.
Yeah,
High
knockout over
score.
2 legs. It's over 2 legs. Yeah, knockout.
Or 2 legs, yeah.
Because there's been like 11-0 games in the
Oh,
groups
yeah, of
and
course,
stuff like
yeah.
that, shit like that.
Very interested to hear your.
Well, it must be. So this was a
Oh.
total of 14 goals. So I assume the previous record must have been 13 goals
Yes.
across
Andy.
2 legs.
Right, I'll
But-
write that down. Wait. Hold your thoughts, guys. I need to write this down. Because I'll lose count on who's got how many points. I've lost my pen now.
Was it
Oh,
no
no.
Liverpool? Was it no Liverpool Dortmund?
No.
No, I was gonna say 9.
Europa League, Marcus.
9-4.
That was
That was Europa League.
That
to
was
be fair,
Europa
wasn't it?
League, yeah.
That wasn't as many goals.
Okay, right. So
I think it's
Andy's got one.
It's
Andy's got one
there must have been
point.
13 goals total across both
Yeah.
legs.
Is it-
That's right. You get a point for that. Yeah.
Was it 9-4?
No.
No, I think
10-3.
it's
Yes,
7.
Sam.
10-3.
Sam has
Oh,
got it.
wow.
10-3,
Oh, oh.
10-3. I need to put these in
I
tallies.
don't know who it is, but I can't remember.
How recent was it? Can we get a hint?
This decade.
All right, this decade.
What, this decade.
Yes.
Last
Yeah, whatever. Last decade.
Yeah. I was saying if Rangers only broke the record this decade, then it doesn't. Or this year. Sorry.
This was a few years ago, wasn't it?
So you need to get the teams now, guys. I can come back to it if you want and let you think about it.
I'm trying to think who had a big.
Do we
run.
give you the year?
Yeah.
Yeah, give us
So
the
it
year.
was the 2010-2011 season.
That was the year
God,
that
who makes big runs?
that was the year that Porto won it. So
Porto.
I'm gonna say Porto.
Yeah. Oh shit, you beat me to it. I was gonna say
Yes,
Porto.
Porto's one of the teams, but I'm not going to give you the point until I'll give you
league?
half one, right?
What round was it?
I don't know what round it is.
Let's go for. I don't know who you just got Russian teams. Spartak Moscow.
Yes.
Really?
No way.
Yeah.
No way.
Yeah.
I was only going to say them because they were beefing Celtic
Oh.
on Twitter.
It was. It was 13 goals, and it was Porto 10, Spartak Moscow 3 in the 2020.
What was each leg like? 7-0
I don't
and
know. I've just got the full thing.
I'm just gonna Google it now.
You can look. You can look yourself. Yeah.
I'll have
So-
a Google later.
This should be an easy one. You should get this quite quick. So,
It was.
who was the last team?
That
to win
was
the
AVB.
league?
Look, we could be doing that in Europe if we had AVB.
It was 5-1 and 5-2, by the way. 2 legs.
Oh, cheers.
There we go. Well done. Which was the last team to win the league outside the old firm?
Aberdeen.
Aberdeen
Marcus,
in
well
the
done.
80s.
Can you get what year?
87.
84.
85.
Yeah, Marcus, you get another point for that. 84, 85. Marcus gets that. 2 easy points for Mark on that.
There you go. On the score sheet.
So, can you name the player who's got the most Scotland caps but has never scored for the national team?
Oh my god.
It's got to be a goalkeeper then.
David
It's gotta
Marshall.
be
No.
Craig Gordon.
Gordon. Well, who was the keeper in the
Alan McGregor.
70s?
No.
Was this all time? Yeah.
Is this what?
Is this all
Is this
time?
like...
Yes.
Alright.
Scott Brown. Don't know if he's ever scored for Scotland.
Yes,
to be
he
honest.
He has scored for Scotland.
Not very often, but.
Yeah, he scored about 3 or.
is it... You don't have to ask
Jim
it.
Leighton.
Yes.
Yeah,
my
he
God,
was
no,
he was the
well done.
goalkeeper in the late 70s, early 80s. I was thinking of.
Yes. Well done. He's got 91 caps.
Yeah, because he was keeper in World Cup 82 and 86, and I
Here,
think maybe even 90.
Kyle, you might know this, but I was going to say Andy Gorham, but because obviously that was before my time.
I don't think he's got as much caps as. Jim Leighton.
Another shot
Yeah.
for me would have been Alex McLeish, because I think he's our 4th
Hmm.
biggest cap holder of all time.
Yeah.
He's the only Scotland captain to have ever managed the side,
Mhm.
which I think is a crazy stat.
Oh, Jim Leighton's the second highest capped, so
Is he?
yeah.
Oh. I thought there would be more outfield players capped higher.
No, it's just Kenny Dalglish.
Oh, of course, King Kenny.
That's it.
Right. I'm actually gonna switch it up a wee bit, right? Okay, I'm gonna do the who am I first. I'm gonna think of another question because the other question is pretty easy. You'll get this quite easy, but right. So this is the who am I? This is the who am I, right? So I was born in England. I started my career at Darlington. I've had 2 spells in Scotland for 2 clubs, including a team from the Highlands. I am a striker. I have scored 14 goals from 39 appearances in Scotland. I left Scotland in 2021 to go down south. Who am I?
Oh my god.
David
You can write this
Goodwillie.
down. No. This is worth 2 points, by the way. I'll give you 2 points for this.
Oh my god.
So they've just left Scotland in January this year.
That's Oh fuck! What's his name?
So he's English, started his career in Darlington, 2 spells in Scotland for 2 clubs, including a team from the Highlands. He's a striker. He scored 14 goals in 79 appearances in Scotland, so that's over the 2 clubs. And he left Scotland in 2021 to go down south. This will get your brains
What's his
racking,
name?
boys.
Yeah, my brain thinking.
Is it Sam Cosgrove?
No, it's not Sam Cosgrove.
Not
Oh,
But
you're
you're sort of there.
It's an Aberdeen player then who's joined left in the.
Oh man, wait. I was gonna say Curtis Main, but he didn't play in the Highlands.
You're
Are
right.
you considering
It is-
Aberdeen
it's
the
Curtis
Highlands?
Main. It is Curtis Main.
Oh, it's
Wait,
Curtis
no?
Main.
Who did he
Yeah.
play for?
Aberdeen.
Yeah,
Aberdeen and Motherwell.
Aberdeen. I wouldn't call that as the Highlands.
Yeah, it's above me, so it's the Highlands.
Oh man.
So yeah, it's Curtis Main. It is Curtis Main.
Alright.
Yes.
Well,
Because obviously he played for Motherwell and Aberdeen.
I was close to not saying it, but then because I thought he's not played in the Highlands, but no.
I would class Aberdeen as the Highlands. I don't know about you.
I think
Nah.
it depends who you ask. The Highlands
Yeah.
council area is its own thing, but then people kind of dispute it. But
It's the
no,
same with England. If you say
Is anyone keeping points on the quiz? No, or are we just doing it by day?
You're the quiz master.
you're the one who should be keeping points.
I've got
Yeah,
I've
I'm
got
keeping points, but like overall over the all quizzes.
Oh
I've
no!
got 4. I got
No.
No.
1 for Aberdeen, 1 for 84, and then 2 for Craig.
Oh, well, like
we can
all-time kind of
rewatch
points.
it and see who just wins each week and do it on wins.
Yeah, Marcus.
So yeah,
Oh, no, 'cause then
unfortunately,
Marcus is
Marcus won.
Yes.
So he
Again.
won with 4, and then Andy with 2.5, and
Oh, nice.
Sam with 1.5.
What about that last question?
And I'll do it in another week. Can't be bothered.
Alright.
I can give you one right now. Actually, oh, that's a good one. Actually, right, I'm gonna hold that one. Let's see if you guys know this. Okay, I need to get the answer now for this one.
This is live. This is making up
Not
questions.
very prepared, is it?
Do it
No,
live.
It's tense. Man.
do it live. I need to scroll down to the answers. I don't think there's even is an answer. No, can you tell me, right? Who was Andy Robertson's senior Scotland debut against?
Oh my god.
Austria.
Oh man.
Wait, I need to Google the answer now.
Hungary.
Yeah, statistics. good.
Could be, yeah, could be.
Gibraltar.
Wait, I might have it
Romania. I'm trying to think who we played back in what, like 2000. He probably would have got a cap when he was playing for Hull, maybe.
Bulgaria.
there. It could be, yeah, could be.
Slovakia. I'm just going to keep on
Oh,
naming
I've got
countries.
I've got the answer. I've got the answer now. Who did he make his senior debut against?
Has it been said?
Could be.
Hungary, Slovakia, Bulgaria,
No.
Gibraltar.
Oh,
No.
Israel.
No.
Who do we always play?
Belgium.
Russia,
Nope.
Ukraine,
Nope.
Qatar.
No.
Well, they're probably a friendly, aren't they?
Slovakia?
Nope.
Slovenia.
Poland.
Yes.
Oh,
Hey!
Name every country in Eastern Europe.
Yeah, an
Guessing
extra
every
point.
European club.
So
When do we play Poland? Actually, thinking about it,
Obviously, it was Andy Robertson's debut, so
a European Championship qualifier probably.
Yeah.
so doesn't change. So we've got Marcus on 4 points, Andy with 3.5, and Sam on 1.5. Sam, that's really poor, man.
Yeah, weak from you, Sam.
No.
Yeah, that's poor. That's very, very poor.
I
Hope you enjoyed that. Sorry,
I don't think I've done as well as the prediction. I think I've done shit in predictions
the
as
other
well.
question I had set up for you was pretty simple. It's like, excluding Old Firm, which club has the biggest ground in Scotland, and what's their capacity to the nearest 1,000?
Queen's Park.
No.
Easter Road.
Oh.
Tynecastle, maybe, actually.
Yeah, Apology, yeah, but...
It's Pittodrie, 20,800 something. And
Well,
Yeah.
their new stadium is proposed is actually a downsize, so
Yeah,
it would take it smaller than Tynecastle and Easter Road, I think.
They didn't fill it, so then Easter
So
Road,
yeah,
the biggest
I
one.
was just going to leave that one for anyway, because I thought it was too easy for you, but...
You can't really save it for another week, so we would know the answer.
I know, exactly.
But do you want to also go through who did well in the predictions last week?
Oh, right.
Because it was
More
probably
topics
not
from
me.
Brilliant, love it. Right, so we had some very odd predictions for the League Cup final from Sam and Lewis, all predicting it would go to penalties and Livingston to win it. The only two people that got points from that was myself and Marcus, the two leaders.
Hey.
We guessed 2-0. Obviously, it was 1-0. And we did pretty poor on the Kilmarnock Dundee United game. We all predicted a Dundee United win, and no one got any points for that. Lewis was the only one to gain points from the Hibs Motherwell game, which we all slagged him for, so we'll feel really bad now.
Because he's a realist.
Celtic Aberdeen, none of us got points for that because we all predicted a draw. for that
Useless.
Disgusting.
Which-
Disgusting.
Well, your team just very
We
inconsistent,
always
mate, so...
beat Aberdeen. Always.
Yeah, but your team was just really inconsistent, though, so...
Didn't you draw earlier in the season?
No, we've.
Yeah, they did
We-
draw, yeah,
It
they
was
did draw.
3-3, man.
I don't. No, we haven't drawn against Aberdeen this season.
We have
I'm just
3-3
going
at
to scroll back up on here.
3-3 at Pittodrie.
Yeah, 3-3 at
Oh, we
Pittodrie in October.
Might have done 3-3.
Boom.
I was thinking.
Sit
I
down.
was thinking of the 4-3 in Scotty Sinclair's last game, right at the end of the season.
That was years ago.
That was 2 years ago.
Exactly, it wasn't the season.
Alright.
Anyway, so... We all, apart from Marcus, got points from Rangers Antwerp game. Marcus, that's a really, really poor prediction from you, man. I was expecting better. So, we have a draw for first, all on 2 points, which is very, very poor. It was myself, Marcus, and Lewis. And yeah, let's not even talk about Sam.
I've got to play for them.
Sam, you
Antwerp.
did terrible. Yeah, you got 1 point.
You guys got 2. I was only 1 point out.
Poor. So that brings the total points tally. Andy on 2 because he doesn't message his predictions to us. Lewis on 5. Sam on 6. Myself on 15. And Marcus on 16.
It's like the bloody old firm.
Mark, yeah, on fire. Only a point in it. So, now... Oh, yeah, title race for the Mars bars. Heating up. I'll hand it back to you, Sam, for this
we've got
week's result.
6 games this weekend. We've got 5 on Saturday. One of those is Aberdeen versus Hamilton.
Who's going first then?
I'm gonna go in with A. I really want I really want Aberdeen to drop points. They've definitely
Do you
got
think
it
they
in
will?
them. No, I think at Pittodrie they will win 2-1.
Ooh.
I think they're gonna score some goals. But
Lewis?
I'm gonna put up a fight.
Yeah. Lewis? Not Lewis. Lewis is not here.
I was gonna say, Lewis doesn't we know. I think it'll be a 1-1. I think
Right.
Aberdeen usually aren't too bad at Pittodrie, but their form's been inconsistent lately, so 1-1.
Oh, and by the way, welcome back to the Excel spreadsheet. It's been nice to not put lines under your name. Sam?
I'm going to say a 1-0 win for Aberdeen, because Aberdeen strike force, they're not doing too well recently, and Hamilton don't look like winning, so just a simple 1-0 win for Aberdeen.
I was gonna go for a 1-0 with you, Sam, but now obviously Hamilton have been getting the odd goals against teams, so I'm gonna go with Andy. I'm gonna say it's a 1-1 draw, I think. So yeah, and then Lewis, if he wants to, he can message his predictions later.
If he actually I'll send him. I'll send the message now.
He did last week, to be honest, so...
He may get overtaken this week.
Yeah, moving on to Lewis's team, it's Motherwell versus Livingston.
Tough tie. Very good tie. I'll kick off and say, obviously Livy have had 2 defeats now in a row. Obviously the League Cup and against us tonight. They're up against a very good Motherwell side. Obviously the back of the Hibs victory. So I don't know. I'm going to predict a Livy win, I think. I'm going to say 1-0 to Livy on that game. It's going to be a definitely good one to watch. I wouldn't be surprised if it ended up in a draw. But
I'm going to say 1-0 Motherwell.
oh,
I think I'll join Marcus on the 1-0 Motherwell.
Yeah.
I think Livy have hit a bit of a rut. I think their demotivation just before the League Cup has stunted them. But they're still defensively solid, so I don't think they'll ship goals.
yeah. All I'm saying, why I'm saying 1-0 is because they did play very well against us. But obviously now it's away from home. But I'm still going by my prediction. That could be the change, Marcus, in the league table.
Could be.
For this.
I'm
need
going
numbers
to
from
agree
Motherwell.
with both of your people basis of the predictions and just go with a 1-1.
Expecting a 5 each there, Sam.
Oh, you got to have one weekly 5-all.
We didn't have one last week, did we? Although I think the Rangers Antwerp game would have been closest.
Yeah, almost there.
Talking about Rangers, they also kick off at 3 PM on Saturday against St Mirren.
Back at Ibrox.
3-0. Gonna put it right out there.
To who?
St Mirren.
Yes, Merritt. Rate your Rangers.
Okay, now you said I have to go with your first answer, I'm afraid. Nah.
You wish, because you because of the table. Nah, 3-0 Rangers.
Any reason why?
Rangers will get more goals than St Mirren, and they'll score.
Fair enough.
Quality analysis right there.
One of them.
Depends
One
on the
of them will
referee,
be a
to be honest.
penalty.
Depends on the referee as well. If it's beaten, we're not getting not a chance.
It won't be beaten. He won't referee 2 games in a row. He is.
No. But you never know. It's SPFL. They're corrupt anyway.
Sure.
Anyway, Andy.
1-all Rangers. Well, no, 1-all in the Rangers game, like points apiece. Yeah, I'd like
Why?
to see them drop points, but I don't think they'll lose. So
Realist, guys. We've got a realist here.
Andy, would you like to see yourself drop points?
no, not really.
In the prediction league table.
He love it really.
But like, I don't think.
You just don't want to predict a Rangers win, do you?
Why? I actually want to hear reasons why you think Rangers will drop points.
I don't think they'll. Oh, they just think they'll have an off day. You know, not every team can win every week.
Rangers have had a few off days now, and they still won.
No.
Okay, I may move on.
Sam.
Sam.
I'm going to say 2-0 Rangers.
So, yeah, I think I'll say the same as you, Sam. To be honest, I think it'll be 2. I don't think it'll be
more realist.
quite clearly, mate. To be fair, if you get his prediction right, I think I'll kill you. But anyway, we'll move on to the next game.
Next game is Ross County versus Kelly.
Oh damn. 1-0. 1.
I think this has got a 0-0 written all over it. To be honest, I've got to go 0-0.
1-0
I don't.
County.
Oh.
1-0 County.
I'm going to go 2-1 County.
Tough one to watch. Does anyone want to take that game up at all? No. To
1-0
watch?
County. I think County will condemn Kilmarnock to another successive
County.
loss.
Depends when it is, because like all these games will be Saturday 3 o'clock, right?
Yeah, apart from there's one game on Sunday. Yeah.
And that's the Rangers game, right?
That's the Celtic game.
No, it's
We'll
Dundee United Celtic.
cover that later. Get to that
sorry
when we
to
get to that.
I'm sorry to say, but unfortunately, I'll be watching Hibs hoof the ball up to Chris Doidge for 90 minutes on Saturday. So I don't know if I'll be able to watch Ross County Killie. But
Try and actually cover these games next week. They're just like, yeah, that happened.
The good thing is, if Hibs win, then I'll actually watch Sports Scene. So we should all be hoping for a Hibs win.
Talking of Hibs win, they play St Johnstone away. Also at Saturday, 3 o'clock.
2-1. My brain is saying that it's going to be a 1-1 draw. But that's not my prediction, just saying, Kyle. I'm just, explaining my thinking.
Okay, I'll let you off.
I think we're going to draw. I don't think that, like I said earlier, it's a team we usually struggle against. But for my prediction, I'm going to say 2-1 to Hibs, because we have had a good away record at the same time. But that's pure hope. This is pure hope. Jack Ross would need to make really big changes in his setup if we want to do well on Saturday. So if we do that, I think there's a chance of winning, and it'll be 2-1. But we'll see.
I think 2-0 to the Hibs.
I'm gonna go with Marcus's brain and say 1-1.
Oh. Cheers, Andy. Cheers.
I'm predicting more optimistic for you guys than you are.
Yeah, but you haven't supported Hibs in the
I said
past.
2-0 Hibs. Sam said 1-0.
Andy, you've not watched Hibs this season.
What do I go for now? Well, obviously, I think St Johnstone did struggle against Hamilton today.
But I think that's more of a hangover from winning the cup than anything.
Yeah. And sorry, Marcus and Sam, but I've got to go for a St Johnstone win. I think they'll win 2-1. I think they'll win 2-1. I think they'll bounce back.
Thing is, you've got to be careful with that, though, because are they scoring first? Because if they score first, we're not scoring. Just to say. And then if the thing is with Hibs games, if we score first, we usually are fine.
No, actually, I'm going to change that.
Oh, no, you can't.
Okay, yeah, I took my first answer. Right, okay. Right.
Is it one rule for us and another rule?
No, because I've got a few players in my fantasy team. So I'm like 1,000 points clear, so it's all good.
You're right.
Yeah.
As we mentioned earlier, Sunday at 12 o'clock, it's Dundee United versus Celtic.
5 each. Nah, I'm kidding on. I think it'll be a draw. I think it'll be 1 each.
You know what? I'm going to take the 5 each for this one.
Oh, Sam's
I think we'll win 3-0. 5 each. I'd love to see.
When was the
but I
last
don't
time
think
you
we'll
won
score
3-0?
5 goals. I don't know. Like, I feel like we beat someone like Motherwell in like October 3-0.
Yeah.
You beat St Mirren 4-0 in February.
Jesus.
Last time you won 3-0 was against Dundee United on the 30th December.
There you go.
Also beat Hamilton 3-0 4 days before as well. So.
Is this at Tannadice,
Yeah.
This game is at Tannadice. So yeah, our last game against them was 3-0. So there you go. I'll go 3-0 again.
I'm going to say 2-1 Celtic.
Good prediction, that.
I think Dundee United will give it a good goal.
2-1 Celtic, yeah. Right, okay.
We'll do the Europa League next week. So we've got those predictions sorted in. What I did want to mention slightly is that the Scottish Cup will be returning on the 26th of March along with Leagues 1 and 2, which is, good news for the lower leagues.
Yeah. Women's football as well is back.
Women's football as well, yeah.
A chance for a double.
Can't get the treble though.
Yeah, couldn't, unfortunately, but still on for the double.
So I'll just cover that quickly. Because I mentioned it in the intro. We didn't actually talk about it, but yeah, I think that's everything for this week. Unless anyone else wants to bring something to the table.
Kevin Nisbet needs to get his act together. Yeah.
Wow.
I'll just leave that as a parting comment then.
Wow.
That's my comment.
Wow.
And on that note, I think that's everything for tonight. Thank you guys for coming. Thank you guys for listening. And we'll see you again next week. The False 90s podcast is available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube, Podbean, and our website at false90s.wordpress.com. For updates, follow False 90s on both Twitter and Instagram. And a big thank you to Fransisco Aluear and his track Space Game, which is our theme tune. Yeah.
I feel like I'm on some winners.
Right, okay.
I'd put money on them.
Well, you put on Rangers drawing Ibrox.
Rangers drawn 1 with St Mirren and Ibrox. I'll put my life.
Does that make you day slightly happy?
Well,
with
they
it?
did knock Keys out the League Cup, so.
Yeah. So the last minute goal, yeah.
And who's going to stop them scoring a last minute equaliser?
Rangers, because it's at Ibrox.
Anything can happen in Scottish football.
That's true, that's true.
Anything.
I'm not saying nothing against your prediction, it's just a weird one.
It's a good prediction.